Guys, welcome back to another podcast. Today I have a very special guest. He's a prankster. He does YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff. So today's special guest is
Dennis ROADY.
Yes. Welcome to the podcast, Dennis.
Thank you for having me, Brad.
Thanks. How many subscribers are you at on YouTube now?
I think my YouTube's got about 4 million collectively across all my channels.
Yeah, I was looking you up the other day. You had like 3 channels? 3
yes.
or 4?
3.
Vlog 1?
Well, 4. Yeah. I got a vlog, which is now a game. I got a how-to prank where I teach you how to prank it up for any prank ideas you have to pull in your friends or family. Yeah. And then I have a Dennis ROADY channel, which is where typically I would post good deeds or dirty deeds, right? It's like good deeds helping people out and like dirty deeds helping people out, but then doing something kind of naughty, like maybe taking a homeless guy to the strip club or something like that.
You've done that?
Yeah, so I take him out, I get him work. I get him work, he paints the house, he gets paid, we go out, we eat, he gets a new clothes, kind of like a makeover, right? Yeah. And then the guy, I said, what do you want to do? And he wanted to go to the strip club, so I took him to the strip club. So that's like a dirty deed. Yeah,
but it's still helping him out.
Yeah.
Beneficial for him. That's cool. I've not seen that video.
And then I have a kids show where I created this puppet for my son and created a show called Piley Pals. I know, right? Strip club, strip kids show. But
yeah, that's a big jump right there.
But now that I've become a dad, I've kind of like been more focused on parenting and things like that. So I have a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah. So you were on a movie called Natural Born Pranksters.
Yes.
How long did that take to get everything, like film, ideas for pranks and all that stuff?
Yeah, it's crazy how much time it goes into making a movie. You could probably make a movie independently on your own much faster than having a production team like Lionsgate involved and all this, because once you go through like the first year, which was just pretty much the creation of the ideas and content, we came up with 400 prank ideas.
Dang.
And the cool thing is we'd have writers come in and we would share our ideas with them and get kind of different spin and twists on the content that we were creating, the pranks, which was awesome. And I had a lot of great, talented comedians I got to meet doing that, and it was just so good, like Andrew Santino, Theo Vaughn, stuff like that. And then that took about a year, and then it took about another maybe almost a year to kind of set up the location, set up all the people, get everything done. I mean, altogether, it took about 2 years to do. The longest part was after we completed the movie, after we completed filming, after we completed testing the movie, where you have to have other audiences watch it, and then they're going to give your feedback on everything, right? And you're kind of showcasing the movie to your demographic, who you want to watch it. There was a part where, I forget which one it was, but it wasn't really doing well, and I really wanted to do this prank, and it seemed to be very difficult to pull off, but I wanted a pregnant woman to have a baby, and when the dad comes home, it's a different ethnicity.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I remember that.
Yeah, and so I guess at the very end, we went back, and we ended up finding some lady that was pregnant that would pull this trick on her husband, and it was great to be able to add that to the movie, because it looked like it wasn't going to be added, because legal teams and everybody else pretty much shot down like 99% of our prank ideas because of legal reasons. So that's the hard part when you involve other people in that, right? Kind of like, it's a double-edged sword. You get an awesome team to work with, and you get to be on Lionsgate movie. You get to have all these cool things, but at the same time, when other people are involved with it, investing in your projects, then their opinions also have to be factored in. So you're not so much writing solo like you would on your YouTube channel or your TikTok or whatever. You have other people kind of voting if you're able to do something or not.
Yeah, kind of telling you what you can do and what you can't do.
Right, but all in all, I would say it was like a 2.5 year like project from start to finish. From meaning when they came up and approached us to make the movie, at the time we were like, I think, one of the very few YouTubers to actually pull off a successful movie. Yeah. And then from the day they talked about it to the day it finally went out, probably 2.5 years.
And that was in the movies, right? Correct?
Yeah, it played in select theaters. Basically, we just put it in areas, theaters that had our highest viewership. And then we rolled it out to, what was it? Netflix.
Is it still on Netflix?
No, now it's on Amazon Prime.
So is it just like a deal with them, and then like
Yep.
you guys still work it out? Do you guys still get commission on that though?
Dude, I didn't get paid 1 penny on that movie.
You didn't?
No, it's so salty, bro. So salty. I learned a lot from that movie in terms of business, yeah. You got to be careful. You know, you instead of taking a percentage on the back end, especially, I learned the hard way, and I think a lot of creators will learn the same way, or influencers, when you have other main production houses and media, platforms involved in your project. They're gonna I don't know how to say cook the books maybe, but they're going to come up with a bunch of expenses, and then those expenses have to be paid off first before they can pay you. So my deal was to get, I think it was like 18% at the back end, which I was super excited about.
That's a lot, yeah.
And then it's just constantly reasons why it's, I feel like, I don't know how to explain it. I probably should run an audit on them, but then you got to worry about, if you do an audit, do you want to really blacklist your name? Right? Now I'm going to be auditing Lionsgate. I mean, come on, how's that going to work? I know. It's just a lot of money to do that, so.
So, like, if you needed actors, they would take the actors out of your paycheck, basically, right? Or how did that work?
No, there's a budget. So I think we spent about $900,000 on the little less than $1 million.
On the whole movie.
And then on the movie, on the editing, on the location, on paying people, on the whole entire kit. And then when we were done after the testing, that also included the tour and everything like that. When we were done after the testing, we ended up going back and spending a little bit more to get the other additional clips that we needed and the corrections. And then that ended up pushing it up right about 1.1. And then we sold the movie to Lionsgate, and then we had high expectations in terms of like the analytics and the way things were looking, and then Netflix picked it up, and now it's on Amazon Prime, but I still haven't got paid a single penny from it. Dang,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro.
I did not know that.
Roman is the only one that got paid because he took some money up front. He took zero on the back end.
Oh.
And so they had an agreement for all of us to get money up front, and it was split. But it was like really nothing, And so I was pretty confident with our analytics and with our viewership that it would do well, and especially the movie and the people that were in it, I thought it would do well. So I went ahead and agreed, I kind of like came up with the idea to, give up my front end, and I got Vitaly, or I don't know if I can say I got him, but because I did it, and then Vitaly also did the same thing, we ended up forfeiting our upfront, so then Roman could collect all the upfront money.
So he got yours and Vitaly's.
He didn't get ours, but it allowed the budget to be larger for him, right?
Yeah.
So let's just, for example, let's say everybody was getting $33K up front or something like that, just a random. And then since I'm not taking that $33K and Vitaly's not taking that $33K, well then Roman can go ahead and absorb that, right? And then he could get a decent upfront for him. And, he has kids, family, all these things, Smile More Store, all these things that he's working on. And so that would be really beneficial for him in the Smile More Store at the beginning. And then I was just kind of like, I can go ahead and take the back end deal. Vitaly could take the back end deal. We're just two single guys. And really thought I was going to get paid on the back end, but really I got it in the back end instead.
Do you remember them telling you that, like, you weren't getting paid? Did they not kind of tell you?
No, they didn't say that. No, they just keep saying that there isn't any money to get paid yet. And that's been the story to this day.
Dang. Yeah. But that's still good publicity, though.
I mean, yeah, it was good publicity. The experience was priceless, and the experience is priceless. But again, that movie we could have totally done ourselves on our own YouTube channel, and done ourselves, and we could all have made a lot of money if we did.
Yeah,
that.
sure. Yeah,
we didn't need Lionsgate and Studio 71, which is the MCN that pretty much covered it, and Lionsgate bought it and published it. So we could have still got our movie on Amazon Prime or Netflix if we wanted to. Any creator, you can make a movie and get it on there. That's why those big production houses and stuff. Same thing with music, right? A lot of those labels are kind of feeling the different kind of. They're getting. I don't know how to say it, but basically, if you're an independent artist, you can thrive on your own. And I highly suggest and encourage all those people out there that are independent, young artists, creators, influencers, to protect your brand and shield it from anybody coming in, because they can offer you $1 million up front, but you're pretty much giving up everything. And now you can go out there and just invest in yourself and work on your own and make all that money that they're going to make off you, because they're going to make way more than $1 million.
Yeah, I saw some Lil Uzi Vert had one of his songs. He got crazy amount of millions of views and stuff, and he only made like $400,000 off of that song, and his label company made
Ridiculous,
millions just from that one song. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say names exactly. I'm not going to put it together, but basically, they were able to take our whole experience at the time, because at the time we were the ones collecting all the views and things like that. Our channels were hot, and the fact that we were coming out with a movie really helped increase the value of our management company. And so when they sold the company, they added about $30 million just because of our content and our accounts and our movie. Increased the value of the company. And so they were able to basically spend 1.1 to get 28 back, And when they sold the company to Studio 71 for like $71 million, they were able to increase their value of the business to $71 million and sold it. Smart. It's crazy, man. But it's okay. Live and learn. A lot of artists, look at Mike Tyson, right? The thing is, you have to understand, you can't hold grudges in this business, man, because you're going to get burned like crazy all the time. They will take advantage of you, especially when you're successful and you're growing. People are going to just come out of the woodworks. People are going to try and hop on your train. They're going to try and tell you all these things. Just really got to focus on what's best for you, and if it's going to benefit you and your family, and just focus there. And if it's not going to, it's really good to have managers and people on your team. You don't want to really be solo. You want to have people you can trust, loyal people around you, and then let them talk to those people that are trying to have the money and stuff like that, because they'll always tell you what you want to hear, but you'll never have those words they say on paper.
True. Yeah. But that makes sense. They always try to nickel and dime you, and just
they'll tell you everything you want to hear.
You got.
Yeah.
Just do it. Get you to sign that paper.
Get you to sign that paper.
Bottom, yeah.
And then you'll learn eventually, the more experience you gain, what is actually what, right? You'll learn, especially through the different business management companies that you come through.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've been there before. Yeah. So how did you, Roman, and Vitaly meet?
We were doing YouTube videos, and we liked our content and our videos, and so we just collaborated back in those days, around the 2012s, 11s. You can collaborate and do really well through that. So we just kind of collaborated all the time for all our videos, pretty much, and just kind of use that to help us grow.
Yeah, just clicked with you guys.
Yeah. So we were doing the pee prank on the cops, which was epic and legendary, and then Vitaly did the zombie prank, because at that time somebody in Miami, Florida actually was high on bath salts and bit somebody, right? So they called it the Miami zombie, because this guy, the cops came and they couldn't detain him, because even though they tasered him and sprayed him, it's like this dude was so out of his mind, his brain was just out of control, so his body kept moving. Kind of like if you chop a fish's head off or something, the body's still going to the nerves are still active, and they're still flopping around, right?
It just doesn't feel it, really.
Right, so this dude was high out of his mind, and his body just kept going, even though everyone tried to stop him. So it was made big news, and then Vitaly went out the week later, or same week, and just dressed up like a zombie and chased people around. And then that video blew up, and then we all just kind of got together.
So did you guys ever live together, or was it just...
I roomed with Vitaly, and then Roman has his wife. Well, I guess they weren't married, but pretty much act like they're married. They had their kids and stuff like that, so he would stay with her. And then whenever Roman and I would go to L.A. or Miami, we would stay with Vitaly. And as we grew and grew, Roman was able to bring his family with him, and then obviously they had their own place. And then I would just save my money and crash with the tally.
It's the way to do it, right?
Yep.
Free house or fun, whatever.
Yeah, and it's fun to it's kind of like a creator house. You get to hang out with people that do the same thing you do.
Yeah,
and
so that's all you guys want to do is just
film and have fun.
Yeah, especially like same categories and stuff.
I think our biggest success was being able to get that competitive advantage by being there first, right? And then also understanding the line, right? Like a line to cross, and maybe we'd walk the line, maybe we'd go a little bit over the line, but we never really went so far off that we couldn't get brand deals or sponsorships or grow, or other news platforms or media channels couldn't share our content that we're posting. We did a pretty good job at doing that. And then some of the other channels had to kind of go further out there to kind of get the attention, but
to do what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and then but the brands and the sponsors and the other media channels would kind of be a little bit too scared or too risky for them to talk about it or share it. So it's hard for them to make money. And then the views that come, the ads that play on those videos, if they're getting 20 million views, you think, oh my gosh, I got $9, $5 CPM, which is your ad rate, right? But those kind of videos, typically, from my experience, from what I understand, those type of videos would get a 99-cent CPM. So basically, get 99 cents for every 1,000 views. You know what I mean? On a video like that. So really, they're still not making a ton of money off that. Versus someone that had less views and a little bit safer content or something, their CPMs are going to be higher.
So the CPMs, are they different every video, or is it like your whole channel is 1 CPM?
No, it's different. Your whole channel is going to be, I guess, I don't know how that works exactly. I can't really remember. I think it's, you'll go on to your YouTube channel in your studio and you'll see what your CPM is. But every video will have a different CPM, I feel like. Because I know I've had videos, depending on the content, like a beauty prank video. If I do beauty pranks, my CPM's $18, $19, and a video can make $50,000 versus a video that's kind of office pranks on your friends. Those ones typically be $5, $7 CPM, something like that.
That's still pretty good. Have you ever gotten a video that got millions of views and then they demonetized it?
Yeah, dude. I remember our first video we did that actually went viral. It got deleted and taken down because the people that were in it, we didn't have their permission. And this is the very first video that went viral, and I think it was our second video we filmed or something like that, or third prank video or something like that. I put a purse on a string, and I put it out by a stop sign, so when people stop the car, they have to get out of the car, which is great to see someone open the door to get out of the car, and as they go to get the purse, I pull it. And then I did that to somebody, and then they came back, and she came back with her son, and the son came out of the car, and then he's taking his hoodie off, ready to fight. It's hilarious, and it's just a funny situation. Kind of spiraled a little bit, but Tosh.0 called, who was trying to put it on his show, but the lady, we didn't get her permission, and we had her on video, and so she had YouTube pull it down, and then we re-uploaded it with blurred faces, but since the video was already out originally without the faces, you could still say who those people are.
Yeah.
And so that's how we learned about that, just blurring faces or getting permission. And then Tosh.0 tried to pay them, but the lady is a doctor, I think, from what I understand. So she really isn't interested in $3,000, $2,500 for a video. She just wants the damn thing off because it probably made her look bad.
Yeah, she's gonna go take her purse.
And I don't want to cause that. Our intention, it's all our intentions isn't we're young and we learn, but my intention wasn't to cause her any kind of
bad reputation on her name.
Yeah.
Basically. You could word it like that.
But at the same time, I want to say if you do something like that, then that's not going to look good for somebody. But the other people were laughing and they're funny.
Yeah.
Right. She just came out and they got violent, so that was the problem. Right. They took the joke different. Not everyone's going to take the joke the same way, and so they took the joke different and reacted in a more violent manner. So I could totally understand why she wouldn't want that on there. Yeah. She's a doctor. That's why you got to get permission from people, and if you can't get them to do it, you can blur their face, I guess. But you got to take chances, I guess. There's always a risk in anything you do.
Some people even go the extra mile and change their voices. They'll like high pitch their voice, or you have to. I mean, if you blur their face out, you have to change your voice as well.
I don't know, man. I don't want to.
Might as well just have one of your friends go up and act for you, so you can have their face and their actual voice in it. Like some people would go like super deep or like super high voice, and then you can't even see like their body or anything. So it's just like you're seeing a blurred cloud.
Yeah, I would recommend tweaking the voices and stuff like that too.
Guess so you won't get sued. They can sue you for that.
You can sue, dude. There's a guy that sued God.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, as to make a point that you can sue anybody. You can literally sue anybody for anything. A lot of things is you got to show proof of damage. So you can't just go out there and start suing people because, I mean, sure, I can create a lawsuit. I can sue you tomorrow for something, right?
Yeah.
But when you go to court, it has to show damage. It has to show like you've been impacted in a way, right? And it has to be proof and evidence of that. So the most they can do is have you take the video down. Typically, there's like levels, right? They're going to reach out to you to take the video down. Then you take the video down. If you don't take the video down, then if they suffer any harm or something like that, because then you got it's kind of like a process, it goes through levels. Typically, the first level, same with like merch. If it's a cease and desist, like, hey, this is our shirt, this is our thing, stop selling it, take it down, right? And that's kind of like typically the first step for mostly anything like that.
Yeah, I remember someone sued Red Bull because they said it'll give you wings.
Right.
I don't know if that went through. I just remember hearing about that.
Speaking of Red Bull, do you have any in the fridge?
Probably.
I'm going to get one.
I'll ask you a couple more questions so we can, Is there one in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some games.
This podcast is sponsored by Red Bull.
I wish.
It will give you wings.
All right, so I have two more questions for you. Number one is, what are the top 3 places that you've traveled to in the whole world? States, countries?
Ooh, I love these. So my number 1, I'd have to say probably Finland with the Dudesons. Mm-hmm. Finland has like maybe, 6 million people there in the country. And the Dudesons, I don't know how many people they have on their YouTube channel, but I feel like they have all that,
They have more than 6 million?
I don't know, but I mean, like their shows and their production company that they have, when we went there, they pretty much own Finland. Like, they know the cops, they have pizza boxes in the grocery stores, they have their own soda, they have their own candy, they have their own TV shows, their own production company. So their production company, I think it's called Rabbit Films or something, they also produce shows kind of like their version of Saturday Night Live, their version of like something for the Discovery Channel, their version of some other like sitcom shows.
All in Finland?
And for their Finland TV, basically, right? So they do a lot more than just like making videos of like them, breaking their bones and stuff like that. So when we got there, they sent a car out to pick us up, and the driver kind of started driving crazy. Oh no, the driver showed up and then he stopped, and then Yuka met him at like somewhere else, and the driver jumped out of the car and Yuka jumped in.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Welcome to Finland, boys, let's go!" And he just started driving like crazy out in the middle of the road, like on the regular streets and stuff, like
they own
like they own the place, like dodging semi trucks and stuff. And then they ended up pulling into like a warehouse that they had set up a location for this stunt that we had no idea that was going to happen. And there's people running out, like they're like acting like people out there, like for what we look out the window, it looks like people are just out there. It's really there are people though. And they're like running out of the way of the car, And he's driving like crazy, hitting barrels and things in the car. And then at the end, the finale is he hits a ramp and it tips the car over and we flip. And
in the car? You guys were in the car?
We're in the car and we flip. And it's like, welcome to Finland, And it was awesome. We got to wear a bear costume and scare people with bears costumes because bears are there and they have like bear incidents there, I guess.
Everywhere.
And so I got to wear his bear costume. It was so fun. We had like an apartment catch on fire, and we're holding a baby out the patio, and the fire department's cool with it. Like, they're there. So they have fire trucks on the outside of the apartment complex with the lights on, and we're in fireman suits. Dang. And there's people that are happen to be walking by in the apartment complex because they see smoke coming out of the windows, and we have lights and things to make it look like there's a fire in there. and we're holding a fake baby on the patio. We're like, catch the baby! And the people are like, throw it!
People actually like,
Well, yeah, and then we overthrow the baby.
Oh, and it's like, it's completely over then?
Yeah,
like,
so
it's,
yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so this stuff like that, right? It was so awesome. So Finland's probably number one. Dudesons were excellent hosts, and we were there for about, I think, a little over a week, and it was probably it was kind of like a VIP experience, you know?
Yeah, they went overboard, kind of.
Yeah, it was
sounds like they
fun.
went overboard.
So fun. And then probably the next spot would be when Roman and I traveled the world. We went to the 7 wonders of the world, and I got to go to Egypt and do the pee prank on the pyramids. And I'm just basically had the water bottle, poke a hole in the top, and squeeze it, and you're just putting water on the pyramid. But the people in the back, like the workers there, that looks like got some American guy peeing out there in public on the pyramid.
Did they come and tackle you or anything?
He came up with his camel switch and hit me in the back of my legs, on my hamstrings, and he's like, it was awesome. But when they saw the water bottle and everything, the guy was laughing. He's like, "That's hilarious." You know.
After he hit you?
Yeah, it was cool. And then, like in Paris, you know, right by the Eiffel Tower, they have this bridge that goes over the water that goes right into the art museum there. And on that bridge is a huge ledge that sticks out. So you could stand on the bridge and jump, and you just land on the ledge right underneath you. You know what I mean? Like the ledge sticks out. Okay. And so I'd go up there like, I'm done with this life! And I like jump, and then I just like duck, you know, and everyone runs to the edge and looks over. You know,
you're just sitting down there like that, waving at them. That's funny.
Or when we were in the UK, over there by like Stonehenge, you know, and going to like Mount Rushmore and climbing Mount Rushmore. I guess you're not supposed to do that, but we did.
You guys climbed that?
Yeah, well, I did. And it was awesome. I was like right underneath George Washington.
How far up did you get?
I mean, as far up to where pretty much all the shell rocks, you can't really climb it anymore.
You didn't get fined or anything for that?
No fine, no nothing. Great pictures. Super awesome experience.
Dang.
So cool. And, you know, that whole trip was just fun. Thailand, when we got to Thailand and Bangkok, on the table at the lobby on the newspaper front page, there were restaurants that were busted for serving dogs, for dog meat, like passing it off as beef.
Yeah. And
so there's all these pictures of dogs in cages on that newspaper, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to eat any meat here. You know, like I'm just vegetarian, you know? Yeah. So that whole trip was great. And then I guess the third spot would be, Finland, and you got the 7 wonders of the world. And then the third one would have to be, I don't know, man. There are so many great experiences, it's hard to narrow it down to just those 3. But maybe everything that I filmed in Philadelphia, because Philadelphia is a great city. Ed Bassmaster, Jesse Wellens, Jen Smith, you know, those creators that were up there, so fun to film with. Such great people, and Philadelphia is just one of my favorite cities, and it's not too far from New York City, so you can go there and have fun there.
Is it like 30-minute drive?
I thought it was like almost 2 hours, maybe. I guess depending on where you're going. I can't really quite remember how long it was, because you're not really. When you're in this business and you're an artist and you're doing what you love, time
doesn't matter.
Is non-existent. Yeah. You know, for the most part. Of course, you have times of when you're gonna post your content and things like that, but when you're driving in cars or when you're hanging out or when you're doing these things, even when you're doing production, you have time restraints and boundaries when you gotta like make sure you have projects done or whatever. But you know, in a sense of like how long did it take to drive there, it's kind of blurry, you know. But also those trips to LA and stuff like too, hanging out with like Alex Mandel and going to Vegas and stuff with them and having all that fun, like it's just awesome. It's pretty much freedom. Freedom is pretty much, in my opinion, like, you know, how much can you afford? That's your freedom, you know?
Yeah.
Because you can't really go anywhere. A lot of people don't leave their cities, you know, because they have a restraint, which is a monetary thing. So the more money you make, the more freedom you have, essentially. That's how I look at it, you know?
Yeah. First class in an airplane versus...
Yeah. I mean...
hotel room.
I think it's a good idea to, like, even if you're making a ton of loot, like, you know, my advice to you would be, like, if you should get a credit card and pick a credit card and be loyal to that credit card and get the points for your planes, right, when you're flying.
Oh, yeah,
So
like
that
the
way,
cashback thing.
yeah, so that way, like mostly every time I flew first class, most of the time I'm not paying for it because it was just upgrades based off my spending from my credit cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying.
That way you can save your money.
Yeah. But some cards give you like 5% cash back or something as well.
I mean, I don't know a whole lot about all what's happening out there in the credit card world.
Neither do I.
But I'll tell you that
it
it was awesome to have a credit card that had the flying points and stuff. I used Delta and American Express, and I always had like comfort or first class. Barely had to pay for it out of pocket because usually, I guess the points you're getting and the complimentary upgrades you would get, and you're traveling so much and you're spending so much. It all worked out, yeah.
Well, thanks for hopping on the podcast. Make sure you go follow all of Dennis's socials down below. I'll link his YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat.
Yeah.
If you want to give your Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
Dennis ROADY.
All right, yeah, sounds good. Thanks for coming, guys. We'll see you next week. Peace out.